Welcome back, guys, to our very last day of VBS. Today we're going to learn about Jesus' power lets us live forever in heaven. And this story is something to celebrate. Let's take a look.
Heaven is better than any other place that you know of on earth. It even has streets of gold. And that's where God lives. And He wants His friends to be there with Him too. Now, today we're going to learn about Jesus, how much Jesus loved us, that He could take us to heaven to be with Him forever. But first, we have to understand that we have a problem. Sometimes we make wrong choices, and it sticks on our heart. And when we make wrong choices, we can't be in heaven because heaven is a perfect place. But Jesus had a plan to make us perfect so that we could go. First of all, let's think about what these wrong choices mean. You know, when mom and dad tell you to do something and you don't obey, then you have to maybe even have a timeout, or they take something away. Does that ever happen to you? Well, that's the way in God's heaven. We have to be sure that we're making right choices, not wrong choices. But I'm a pretty good person. I've done some things that weren't good choices, like maybe lying or being selfish or not obeying when I was supposed to obey. And so all those things over time stick to our heart. I'm going to put these little stickers on to represent those wrong choices I made. There are lots of wrong choices. I hope you can make good choices. So, there was only one perfect person. Do you know who that was? Of course, it was Jesus. We've learned about that in Sunday school. He was perfect. So there was no problem with Him being in heaven. He came from heaven. He's perfect. He's going back to heaven. But there were some leaders that didn't believe that He was the Son of God. They didn't like Him at all. They wanted to get rid of Him. They wanted to call Him a liar. So they took Him to one of the leaders named Pilate, and Pilate told his soldiers to kill Him. Why would you want to kill somebody who's been so good and perfect? That did not make sense at all. But anyway, the soldiers were very, very mean to Jesus. They did horrible things to Him. And Jesus didn't even try to stop them. I mean, He could heal people. He could make blind men see. He could even calm the waves of the sea. But He didn't stop the soldiers. And they did some pretty mean things to Him. They even had nails, big long spiked nails that they drove into His hands and His feet. And it sounded a lot like this. That's even a scary sound, isn't it? But they were trying to get rid of Jesus. They didn't like anything that He was teaching. And His friends, Jesus' friends, were very saddened by this, but they were also very, very scared. And they ran away. They were not being bold, like we learned last night about being bold. Jesus' friends were not very bold at this time. They ran and hid. After the soldiers had nailed Jesus' feet and hands to the cross, they hung it up they stood it up in the ground, and He had to hang there like that until He died. Then Jesus' friends did come around, and they took the body and they wrapped it in clean cloth, and they laid it in a tomb and rolled a big stone across the door of the tomb. So there was no way that He could get out, or the disciples, His friends, could get in. So 3 days later, though, Jesus' friends went back to the tomb. But when they got there, the stone was gone, And all that was left were the clean cloths, nicely folded. Nothing was there. But then one of the women, who was a friend of Jesus, came along, and she said that she had seen him. Can you imagine that? He died and they put him in the tomb, but she had seen him. So the disciples and his friends were thinking, he must be alive. He's alive. Jesus is alive. That was such exciting news. And so they went about telling everybody about this good news, and more people believed and followed Jesus. And they began to remember the things that Jesus had said, that he would be punished for our wrongdoing. Not his wrongdoing, but our wrongdoing. He took all those wrong things that we did and nailed them. They were nailed to the cross. All those things that we've done. Are they all gone? Mm-hmm. Yes, Jesus took them all away by taking our punishment. We didn't have to be punished. He was punished instead. And he didn't do anything wrong. It doesn't seem fair, does it? Well, we have to remember that Jesus' power helps us to live forever with him. And we don't have to be afraid anymore. We don't have to worry about those wrong things that we did. They're gone. When we believe Jesus, they're gone. And we can live with him forever in heaven. Let's thank him. Let's celebrate and thank him. Thank you, Jesus. You are a mighty God, and you love us so much that you would do this for us. I hope that you believe in Jesus. And we hope that you have a wonderful summer. And we hope that you remember these things, to be bold, to, what were some of the other ones, Heaven?
Have strength.
Strength, and be bold. And Jesus, he'll help you do hard things. But most of all, we want you to remember that when you believe in Jesus, you can live with him forever.